What's up, gamers? It's the Gamer Hole coming back at you again.
We missed last week, guys. I don't know if you saw that. Sorry. We've tried our best, as some of you know. We have a D&D show as well that is sort of similar to the podcast, where it's the four of us, the four original members, or the four members that we had, that we're now doing D&D. Harks along.
What's that, Abandoner Z-Chum?
That's Z-Chum. Z-Chum was smart in a way, because he knew that with his main channel and with everything going on, it would be tough to do 6 hours a week, which is what we put into this.
Time out. I'm going to interrupt this very important announcement. It's all bullshit. On Be Real, every day Z-Chum posts, and he's laying on the couch in some blankets, or he's laying in his bed in some blankets. That man does nothing with his goddamn life.
Gets a lot of rest.
Of this other shit, any of this other shit he's telling anybody is some bullshit. He doesn't work on YouTube videos. He barely streams. It's all and he should be on the goddamn
disease.
Gamer Hole. I've seen inside of his life on Be Real, and he's just relaxing 19 hours a day and sleeping for the other 5. Okay, I'm done. Sorry, Z-Chum.
Other than that,
he sleeps like 10 hours a night, actually.
But saying that Z-Chum knew that it was too much, he said, well, I can do the podcast when I can, and if we're doing the D&D, which that's going to take priority. So he hasn't been here for a while, but he'll come back every once in a while, maybe. But that's what brings us to the next thing. We're sorry we missed a week, but going forward, we might miss a couple weeks. We're trying to hit every single one, but it might miss a couple weeks, because what happens is things come up. We all get busy, and we're already stretched thin. And if something crazy happens during that week, it's so hard to kind of get it. Essentially, it takes us 3 hours to do this every week. So,
with streaming full-time, YouTube videos, planning videos, coming up with, everything, and, It turns into a lot very quickly with the D&D show, and we're sorry we missed an episode. We're going to try and do weekly, but like King said, there have been numerous times where we really had to push to make our episode for the week.
Yep.
And now we're just letting you know we might miss it. Sorry to reiterate what you just said. Right. But there have been times where we would have really liked to have had that. Like this past week, we just said, you know what? We've done 198 straight every week without fail, and we might miss one here or there. And sorry. Yeah.
We also might stream instead, guys. We might do our podcast streamed rather than recorded, and that might happen as well.
I enjoyed the live one we did recently.
I think that those are great. I think it's just harder because we got Spotify people. As well as, so Spotify we can't do live as well unless we really split it.
It'll be late.
That'll just be
Spotify.
Late. Yeah. It'll just be a couple days late, or 1 day late. Anyways, welcome to the episode, guys. Thanks so much. Really thank the members as well. So if you guys do want to support and keep us going every single week, you can member. But members get an hour episode ish afterwards as well. So that's why it takes us 3 hours to usually get this done. Anyways, Dark and Darker is now done. One of the absolutely highly touted games is alpha test is done. And now what are you guys doing with your life?
They need to stop doing fucking betas. They're gonna blow. They're gonna ruin their entire fucking game. I'm getting mad. I want to play more, but I'm mad.
I think that it's going to be interesting because similar to what Marauders did. Right.
Yeah.
If you do too many playtests, especially without adding in a ton, it does kind of, you get the hype, but then by the time you actually early access, it's
you play it and you're done with it by the time it comes out.
Everybody's meted the fuck out of Dark and Darker already.
Yeah.
And even if they add another level or this or that, they need to wait 4 months, 6 months before they do another beta. If they keep doing once at the end of every goddamn month, nobody's going to give a shit about that game. Another 2 play test.
I'm assuming that they're actually testing stuff. They're not just fucking putting it out there to put it out there.
No, I'm sure they are, but
and some of that stuff
was an internal group of testers, man.
Get a lot of balancing.
500 dudes.
There's a lot of game balancing that needs to be done in that type of game.
Yeah,
those types of items and classes
that is
and whatnot.
True. That is true.
Ton of balancing. Also, when that game has some quests to do, or I'd like to see also some sort of arena combat situation where like your team goes up against another team. Like, you know, I love that. Those games need that because you want something to strive for that good gear for.
But I think that would be so, like, that type of game is going to be so tough with the combat system they have to do like just an open.
I'm not saying it would be an esport
or a big room.
Like, yeah, I'm not saying an esport situation, but you kill the other team and like, I don't know, there could
like
be
a 3v3 situation.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
you could maybe
fight in a room with a bunch of traps on. I mean, you already do that, but like then you don't get third partied, and it's just like better team wins. I think that would be kind of exciting. And
so
then
instead of like the circle and extract, you just want like 3v3 winner
as an option. You know, like like that gear that you're plundering the dungeons for. You know, you get that good shit, and then you bring it into the PvP focused event. You know, I don't know.
Maybe
it's a thought. I like that for games like that.
It's a thought, yeah. But saying that, I don't know if they're going to blow their load too early. Our friends over at Marauders is doing quite well. I mean, the player base has dropped off quite a bit, but peaked at 14K. New update coming out in 4 days. I think when this comes, the day that this comes out, a new update on Marauders. We'll see how it comes, and they sold 300,000 copies so far. So
that's great.
Yeah, I am happy for them on the 300K copies, and Dr. Disrespect played like 2 days ago, which is great for them. I don't think he played that long, but I do very much fear because
the player base.
I've become the top streamer in the category most days.
Yeah,
that's not a good sign.
It's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign for the history of Decky. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Decky, when he's the top in the category,
I'm really thinking I should just stop playing and hope that the curse is not there yet. Maybe I can save it.
Your curse that you've done so far you've always had a lot lower numbers. You're like 4 times the numbers that you used to have. So
it doesn't matter. The curse is there. I don't want to do this to Marauders.
Decky, I know that you like always joke about how like, you know, you don't get a lot of views and you're like a failing streamer, yada. You're like a big streamer now, so you gotta like realize that.
There's too many gifted subs. I don't know what's real anymore.
Well, that's the problem. Like any streamer, there's always that what do they call it? That syndrome where you're like imposter syndrome or whatever, where you don't know what where you don't think you're that big because you're like, oh, you know, so and so gets 2,000, so and so gets 5,000 current, so and so gets 20,000 current. But like, if you have like 6 viewers, you're better than 80% of the platform or something like that.
Yeah, I think having imposter syndrome a little bit is a good thing. Like, I don't understand how some like YouTubers, streamers, anyone, you know, of any sort of notoriety on the internet, like when I don't know how they could think of themselves as like a big deal or important. Like it's so true. Foreign to me. It's like, come on, like it's like, so, like
you're a big deal in certain circles, right? Like in a very small subsect of circles, you might be a big deal. But walk out in anything else, and you're just another person. And you do have to keep somewhat humble, right? Like that's, I guess, what you're saying. You have to realize that you're not king shit, you know?
Exactly. Plus, if you like have that mindset that you're like the shit or something like that, is just that's just yucky. You don't want to be like that. But it's true. You're maybe like a somewhat have a little bit of notoriety in an extremely unimportant circle. So, that's fine. And I think it's good to realize that. Yeah. But I just think it's funny when like streamers get so full of themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, you just sit there and play games. You're not that great. That includes all of us.
Yeah.
But
anyway. For the Marauders thing, like that has very much worried me. I've been like, this is not where I should be. So that scares me for it. And I still like have thoroughly enjoyed playing it every day. The update that they're having, I'm glad they're having a real update, but that's not going to really change much for the section because it's like a quality of life update, health update for the game. It's not a lot of new content. It's not a lot of other shit. They're coming out with new pistol, new rifle,
gun, yeah,
new spawn points and shit. A couple of new added parts to maps, but no new maps, no new major
guns. Yeah, no new guns aren't enough. No one gives a shit about the guns. They gotta like it needs some more depth somehow. I'm not sure how. You know, I'm not a game dev.
Well, I think that, as you guys know, anytime there is an update, as long as you can build hype around the update, it's better than
exactly. Yeah, and I'm sure there'll be a researchers and some viewers and players and stuff during that. But I don't think it's going to be a long-term major change or anything.
I agree. The game they have to monthly do it. They have to monthly come up with a new update, and then maybe.
You know, like Hunt Showdown. A great game, love it to death, but it's a very pick up and put down kind of game. It's not like an all the time game. And that's how Marauders feels for me currently. I love it. I think it's great. And I kind of like that about it, that it's not like an all consuming game.
Right.
It's just fun and it's there when you feel like it. But that's fine for on a consumer end, but for the developers, they want that all consuming game. And, you know, the updates are nice. They certainly help, but it needs a little something. I can't put my finger on what it is. I think the items feel a little too fleeting. There's not enough to like work towards. Like you get geared and you just, and the stash is so small, you can't fit a lot of cool shit in there. You get geared, you lose it real fast, but it's real easy to get. Again,
it's really easy to get rich, and there's no need for the money.
Exactly,
and maybe that's one of the hopefully things that they keep adding. It's just like something end game.
There's so much with Marauder specifically that, like, I don't have the answer for. Like, the space combat needs to be more incentivized. I don't know how to make it more incentivized.
They are doing stuff,
but it needs to have more late game. I don't know exactly what the late game is going to be. There's a lot of things that like you could be like, it needs this, but I have zero idea how to give them an answer.
The armor as well needs to feel like it has more value. Like you can die just as easily wearing level 10 armor as like level 1 armor in that game. Like it doesn't feel like it does anything. The armor I think should be better and maybe a little harder to get. I think that space combat. I think the doors to the ship or the space station or the level don't open for a certain amount of time. You're forced to enter space combat for the first bit of every raid. And then you fight it out, and then the survivors get to go in and loot the map. So you can take your big Chad ship that you worked hard to get, go in there, knock everyone out in space, and then using your big armor that you also have because you're rich, you go into the map, loot it up, get rich like that so you can continue to buy this good shit.
But even if you bring your big Chad ship in, you're not going to kill the guys on board. They're going to board you. You're going to have to go into
you got to defend it,
small
brother.
Combat. I know, so might as well just not use your big ship. Go board them instead.
Well, if you have a big ship, before they can pod you, you knock them out in space combat.
Never kill anybody before they get off the ship.
Hopefully, yeah.
That's another thing they could use some tuning.
They said that they were changing that, right? Like Decky had an interview with the devs or showcase with the devs. I don't know how to
dev blog, yeah.
They did talk about their tweaking space combat a lot. They're going to make it so you can kill people that counts and you can loot. They said that they're going to look into how to loot them in mid space, but
from when you blow up a pod.
Yeah.
So I had that interview with them, and they're aware of like all that shit, and I don't think they couldn't be. I just like, even as a player, I don't have like the direct answer for like they need to do this exact thing to make this better. I'm like, that just needs fixing, but I don't have the exact fix. Which is a weird feeling. I feel like a lot of games you're like, dude, they just need to do this and it'll improve a ton. And then it's whether they do it or not, that's the question. But well, like with the whole like format and there's so many different like aspects of Marauders, it is a complicated fix, I guess.
It's very fast, the gameplay loop of Marauders. It's almost too fast. I think it's too easy to get the big gear, and it's also too easy to lose it.
I can agree on that.
I think like if the good armor soaked up a little more damage. And if it was like more challenging to kill those like space, whatever they're called, the SAS guys or whatever, it was like harder to kill them without good armor yourself. Or you just have to shoot them a lot more and like
make it more of a Raider situation, in Tarkov.
Yeah, kind of exactly.
Because they are a lot tougher, they are a lot scarier, but still, you just shoot them more. And yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Stuff like that, I think, could help. It's just too quick. You lose stuff, you gain it so fast. There's no long term. It's really just kind of surviving on like the fun of the combat alone right now, which is very fun. But you need that something to strive for long term. And like the goals are nice and the item incentivize things and the tasks are great. But like you could blow through those pretty quick.
I can agree
moving
on that.
Moving on for anyone that's not playing Marauders.
Sorry.
By the way, we talked about Ludwig's bidet thing, and Decky discussed how he wanted a bidet. Have you purchased one, Decky?
No.
Oh. Okay.
Moving on.
Moving on for people that don't really want buttholes.
Uncle Sam drained me for everything I'm worth this month. So, because I did my extension deer in like April and I paid it all in October. So I am not buying anything currently. I am in my super saver mode.
Yeah.
I am reeling from pain.
You don't pay quarterly, do you?
No.
Okay. Anyone who's a streamer, you might want to pay quarterly, and you might want to try to pay your taxes before the extension rather than letting it pile up. There is a ton of streamers. There's a ton of streamers out there that don't even realize, like, what? You mean I don't get to make 100%? Yeah.
I've always been very cautious. Even like my first year stream, I was like, I need to be ready to pay taxes, and I usually am. This year, taxes are just a little bit more than I was anticipating.
You're making more money now. You're in a higher bracket. Yeah.
So, I have not gotten my bidet yet, but it's still on my list. There's a lot of things on my list, though. I don't know where that one goes on my list.
Somewhere below an Ember mug.
He's got an Ember mug, so.
Yeah. I already got that one taken care of. But no, as far as there's been a lot going there, man. We guys, we haven't done the podcast in over a week. Oh my god. There's been a lot going on, man.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the big thing you did that you sent us a picture of?
Well, I mean, yeah, we don't need to talk about why, but we had Halloween Day of the Dead, very exciting, very cool. That was Day of the Dead's a big deal in Mexico. So, and I mean, I've gone to the parade and stuff that they have here before, and it's really dope. This year I did some other stuff that I hadn't normally done, like went to the center of the city and did some other shit, which is like an absolute clusterfuck. And I'm waiting to test positive from COVID from that. Like, you couldn't even move in there. It was miserable. I felt so grimy and dirty. I was like, had people's like shoulders in my mouth and stuff. It was.
You were just licking them.
Worse than TwitchCon.
Dude, it was way worse than TwitchCon as far. I was like, man, this is gross. But I feel great. It's been a week. It's supposed to be like a 5-day incubation period. So there's that, and then I went skydiving. That was a big thing last Saturday. That's coming from somebody that hates heights and hates flying, and definitely never been an adrenaline junkie or any of those like fucking grip it and rip it,
stunt
dude.
Junkies.
Yeah.
Remember stunt junkies?
Yeah,
those guys. Yeah, that's not me.
Yeah, exactly.
I like to be like right here.
I mean, I like to go do things, go on adventures maybe, but not necessarily things that are going to terrify me. But yeah, I went skydiving. I managed to talk Tanya into it. I first came in. I was like, hey, I need to go do. I need to go do some stuff. I'm gonna go skydiving. You want to go skydiving like tomorrow? And she is all like jump out of a plane. I was like, yeah. She's like, no. And I was like, we can like bring your sister and Lalo, her, her sister's husband. And she is all like, I don't think they're going to want to go. And so I was like, all right, let me message them. I messaged them and they're like, no. And I was all like, because I was hoping if I got them on board, she would get on board. She can't be left out. And then I was like, well, fuck, this is going to be difficult. And I was all like, come on. And it took a while, but I talked her into it. So yeah, she did go. But it was an entire disaster. So like I scheduled all that shit the night before. All these places were already booked up. None of them are near the city. Because like Mexico City is, you can drive in like an hour of any direction and you're still inside the actual like main city area.
Yeah.
It's not very confined.
One of the biggest in the world, right?
Like it expands. Manhattan's tiny, even though it expands off the island. But
still takes an hour to get from one end to the other.
That's very true.
That's traffic. Yeah.
That's traffic. You can move decently well in Mexico City, but it's sprawl. So like you have to go like 3 hours away to get to where you can skydive. Plus, I don't have a car, so I was like, "Oh no Uber is gonna take me fucking 3 hours." So I was like, "All right, we got to get a bus." So we drive an hour to get to the southern bus station, which is gonna take us another 2 hours south to get to the thing. We get to the bus station, they're like, "Your bus left, and the next one's not for an hour and a half, and then you're gonna miss we're not gonna get to our reservation on time." So I was like, "Fuck!" So we're stuck an hour south of there, and then I was all like, well, let's call these other places that we already called to see about a reservation. Let's see if we can get a reservation for this afternoon, even though they told us they couldn't do it that night. So we called all these places that are like, no. And we're just sitting at the bus station because we're already an hour down here. So like, we don't want to go back.
Tanya must have been so mad.
Yeah, dude. I had slept like 2 hours that night because I'm terrified out of my goddamn mind about this. So like, I'm tired as shit. We already get our schedule fucked up. And so we're calling all these places and they're like, no. And we're like, all right, we got to go back. We can try and get this all worked out and do it tomorrow on Sunday. Even though most of the places have been like, we're booked on Sunday. And I was like, dude, I got to get this shit done this week and I got a time limit. So, I was stressed out of my mind. I'm tired. I'm grumpy. Hadn't eaten shit in for fucking forever. I was eating Doritos as my source of nutrients. And then a dude calls us back and he's all like, oh yeah, we just had like, another couple of guys called. They want to go up. We're gonna put up an extra plane today. And I was like, oh my god, yes. So and he's like, and we have all our regular guys. They'll go again. And so I was like, oh my god, yes. So he's like, you got to be here in like by 4 p.m. And it was like 1. And I was like, dude, we got 3 hours. That's great. And then I was like, well, Tanya, she was talking to him. I was like, Tanya, where's this place? She's like, it's farther. It's 3 hours away.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, fuck. So then like we run to the bus thing and they're like, we got one leaving in like 20 minutes. I was like, we'll take it. We weren't going to be there on time even with that bus, but the bus was a little bit shorter. But then we had a 25-minute taxi ride to get to the place. And it is fucking good. Anyway, we get there. We're a little bit late. The lady at the reception was like, we don't have any planes going today. And I was like, bitch, yeah, you do. And then she's like, let me go talk to Jorge. And she goes and talks to Jorge. Jorge comes back and he's all like, yeah, we told him we set up another plane. So we're like, all right, you're like, are we late? Like, do we need to just go? And then they're like, no, you got like 4.5 hours before that plane goes up. And I was like, then why the fuck were we in a goddamn hurry, Jorge?
And of course, Jorge doesn't speak English, so he's like, fuck you.
Wait, what? They were going to go at night?
They have some rule about, like, you have to show up, and then they have, like, you need to be there for 3 hours to watch your video, that the video is 3 minutes long. So, like, they have some, like, convoluted rule system of how long you need to be there prior to your going up.
Make sure you can change your mind or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So I watched my 3-minute video that's like, put your head back and tuck your legs between his, and that's all you do. Which, I mean, you're tandem, you're strapped to a dude, and there's not a lot to it. So we sit there, and I was terrified out of my mind. I had already been stressed about all this other stuff about getting there. We're finally there. We know what's going to happen. That part was a relief, but now I gotta. Most of me was really hoping I just missed it. I was like, we gotta try and do this, but God, I hope I don't. So then I gotta come to and like face the facts of it. And so like we watched them, they do like 4 groups of people before us of, the plane taking off, people coming back down. And then, we did it. And it was, I I don't plan on doing it again.
What time was it that you actually did it? Like
we went
8
at sunset, which was actually pretty dope. Yeah. It was.
So what was it like? Did your stomach turn? Was it like a roller coaster? Were you like, did you have fun? How quickly was it over?
Getting on that plane and like doing the climb was terrifying. Not to mention the motherfuckers are like, let's just roll up the can. You know, it's like a garage door on the side of like, you know, skydiving planes. Yeah. And they're like, let's just roll up the door while we're doing like a super steep climb. There's no seat belts and I'm not strapped to my guy yet. So I'm just like hanging on to my seat as the goddamn plane's climbing and the door's open in the back. And I'm like, I'm about to roll out. And my instructor was all like, he was just like, just lean over and put your legs a little bit in front of you. You'll be fine. And I was all like, just strap me to you, goddammit. God. And then my harness was like super loose the entire, just like coming off my front shoulders. And I kept being like, to my guy, can you like tighten? He's like, it'll be fine. When the parachute opens, tightens itself. And I was like, just tighten it for my own mind. I was a mess. I was an absolute mess. I hate flying in regular planes. I hate heights. It was quite the thing, but like time came, I had already sealed my fate. I was like, whatever. So he straps me to him and all this other stuff, and he like, you know, hobbles me over to the door, and I just gave up. I just stopped caring at that point. It wasn't even fear or anything. It was just kind of like, I just want it done.
Just want to go home.
He threw me out. Yeah. The entire plane ride was worse. Once we started walking to the door, just like all hope or any care in the world just kind of drained out of me. I'm just tired.
2 hours of sleep and a bag of Doritos all day to eat. Like, you're not going to give a shit at that point.
Exactly. Yeah. And then he just threw me out, and I paid for the cool package that I like have my own camera guy with me too. So he was, because my other dude didn't speak any English. The camera guy talked a little bit and he would translate. And so, yeah, they threw me out. We do a couple of flips and then like the level out and you're doing your free fall. And I don't remember much of the free fall, or I don't remember much of like the flips or anything. I remember like being at the door, and then I remember free falling. Because like they tap you and you have to put your arms out or whatever. Before that, you're holding your thing. And I think my brain was just like too fucking overstimulated, and I just was like gone. I wasn't like passed out, but no, the free fall was actually really, really cool. And that part was less terrifying to me. And you had like the camera guy flying there and he's like in your face trying to get you to do like hang loose symbols and shit. And I was just like, yeah, this is, but,
hang loose.
He was all like, flick me off when you're coming down or do like the hang loose, dude. And I was all like, I don't think I'm doing any of that. I gave him a thumbs up. But the free fall was actually pretty cool. I've never gone that fast in my life. Not to know it in an airplane or anything, but it was actually really cool. And my brain wasn't registering the height, and that's why I've always kind of figured is my brain wouldn't register the height of, you know, jumping out of a plane as far as like being scared of heights kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's weird that you are plummeting towards Earth, but it was like super cool. The sunset was happening. Everything else you can see really far. It was a super beautiful day. And then like they pulled the chute and it opened. It was really nice or like soft. It wasn't like a jerk or anything. And it tightened my shoulders. That's when I actually was terrified. I was like, dude, this is taking way too long to get to the ground. And now I'm just floating up here and I know how high I am.
Just hanging from something. I could see that. Absolutely.
That part freaked me out more. And then the dude like gives me control. And he's like, pull a little bit right. And I'm like pulling a little bit right. And he's like, no, pull it. And then he's like putting us into a huge spiral. I was like, fucking stop. And not to mention, he goes and loosens my goddamn harness again. He's like, just relax, dude. And he goes and loosens my harness, and he's just trying to fuck with me. I'm like, I hate you. I hate you.
You think he's just like back sitting there and just like, dude, I fucked up this gringo so bad. He's
well, it was a funny situation too, because they're like, we get a lot of guys that are like scared to go, but he's like, you don't want to go. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
So he fully enjoyed that situation of really being able to torture me, which props to him. I would have done the same to some bitch, but like I landed, we did a landing. It was super cool. And like the camera guy ran up to me. He had landed right before us filmed it. And he's like, how was it? And I was actually like, dude, that was cool. I was like, fuck yeah. I was like, that was actually super dope. He's like, would you do it again? I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then about 15 minutes afterwards, I was like, never fucking again in my life. God damn it, no. Like definitely the adrenaline had taken a major hit on me because I was not absolutely against it.
Yeah, would you recommend that as a worthwhile activity for someone to experience?
If you're curious about it, I would say definitely do it. You're going to be scared, yeah. But if you're curious about it, if you have no desire, I don't think it's something that you need to force yourself to do.
Yeah, I'm a little curious about it. But then again, when I fall off of high things in World of Warcraft, my stomach turns upside down. Literally from falling off of high things in the game. I'm good, I think.
But yeah, for people that are curious, and that's never something I thought I would ever do in my life. Never did I think that would be something I'd try and do, and I just never had really considered it. It wasn't on my to-do list or bucket list or any of that shit. A lot of people, talk about that. But I'm glad it's done. And under the right circumstances, I would do it again. If there was, under the right circumstances.
Maybe you're getting paid to do it.
Yeah, and I'm with a lot of my boys or something. Yeah. If we game our whole skydive.
Yeah.
I think I'm busy that day. So.
I know of a place we could do it.
Jeez, I'm kind of busy that day.
But no, it was. It's a long story short. It's not that big a deal, but it was a horrible day leading up to it with all the stress, and then it. But it was actually a pretty cool experience. I'll give them that.
I mean, it's nice when it's over too, because you're like, oh, I did it. Like, it was worth it that you actually jumped after the day you had before that.
Yeah. And I checked off that box, and that's way more of anything. That's as far as like that kind of adrenaline sport or whatever that I never planned to fucking do in my life. So that's cool.
Yeah, I think like going on a roller coaster is enough for me. I love doing that.
I don't do roller coasters.
I don't ever do roller coasters.
No, I love roller coasters.
Hell, dude, absolutely not.
I'll go on anything.
Oh, fuck that.
I'll go on any ride. Yeah, I've been on some fucked up shit.
I've gone on like one big boy roller coaster in my life, and that's it.
I've been on a few, but I don't enjoy them. I just did it because it was like you're like
that one King Dakar at Six Flags, the one that's like. It just goes straight up super high and turns around and goes straight down super high. I did that in the front row, baby.
Oh my God.
Let me tell you something, though. The worst part of that was the initial like jolt of like going really fast to climb up that, because you just get like shot out of a cannon like right away. And you literally like, it's like entering light speed. The rest of it was fine. But yeah, that was cool. I would do that again. I'll go on any roller coaster.
You would be fine. Yeah, you're fine to jump out of a plane.
Yeah, I basically did it. Like I was in the front row and just free falling straight down on this roller coaster with nothing in front of me. But
you're way closer to the. You can see how high you are at that point.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think with Aqua, it's more of if his brain can take it, he'll be fine. It's just. Is his stomach going to turn the second he looks down from the airplane?
My stomach turned on the roller coaster, but that's part of the fun, baby. It's all
go ahead.
Aqua is one of these dudes, man.
I'm not one of those dudes. I don't know. For some reason, roller coasters, I'm good. Like any ride, I'm good.
It's because you're at a freaking theme park, probably. It's like a childhood dream or whatever. Yeah.
I just know it's like safe-ish, so like I just enjoy it. Ish.
I love. Have you ever gone to like one of those like fairs where it's not there most of the time, but then they bring all the equipment?
Oh God, yeah, that shit's a nightmare. You always see the videos too. Yeah.
Some of those are fucked. God. Actually, when we were in Copenhagen, we went to this. There's like a theme park in the middle of the city called Tivoli, and there's this thing in the center that is just like the iconic thing of the play. It's like a merry-go-round and it goes super high in the air, and you're just sitting in a little seat on like little chains that just attach to the thing, and it just spins. That's all it does. I have never been so terrified in my life than on that thing. Like, I would go on King Dakar all day, like any roller coaster, fine. But that thing, being on that thing, spinning on this tiny little bench, like 100 feet in the air on these like little chains, spinning, it felt like the chair was just going to snap off and we would just go. I hated that. That was terrifying. And to me, I think being like on a parachute, like just hanging from something like that is like a similar feeling, and I would hate it.
It was super, because it was like super relaxing, but also it gives your brain time to realize where you're at.
Yeah.
So like it was a weird mix. Part of me was all like, this is super calming and nice, but also like I'm gonna vomit.
Yeah. Right. Like, people like that thing where it's a gentle ride. You just spin around, but like you're hanging from like nothing, and you get like a nice view of the city. That's what people like about it. Not me. I did not like that. Because it was calm, and I was just thinking the whole time. And I get what you're saying. I hated that. I hated it so much.
I feel like I have conquered some of my height fears though with that. So not fully, but some, and I'm pleased. Tanya went on it. She was right after me. So I didn't see her get thrown out. And with anything where with an instructor or whatever, they're like, just don't struggle in it. It's safer. It's easier. Because you hear stories about people trying to like grab the plane or whatever, and they gotta like. I fully embraced my death at that point. I stopped caring, and I was just like, "Do with me as you will."
Yeah, like he went out of that thing
Tanya,
like a wet noodle.
Tanya didn't. They threw her out of that plane. She. They had the GoPro footage of the tandem guy. And during the free fall, and he's like, he's got his arms out, like leveling him out. She's just constantly like grabbing at his arm, and he's like trying to shove her off. She's forbidden me from ever showing even her like family the footage.
I was gonna say
she did not. She did not give in as easily as I did. And I don't think she enjoyed it as much. I think she regrets the overall.
Good for her
experience.
for trying it though.
No, I was super impressed that I managed to talk her into it, and she actually went through with it. But yeah, I don't think she's going to be doing that for any incentive. So yeah, that was my weekend. Other than that, that's it.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but I actually went bullfighting this weekend. So
amazing!
Wow.
No, I don't have anything like that exciting to talk about. Nothing at all.
You guys really missed it. You could have watched League of Legends, the World Finals, rather than do all this stuff you did, Decky. And
that was like yesterday, no?
Yesterday was the finals. Yeah,
I just saw like all of Twitter was all like, let's go. Even people that I know that don't watch esports were like,
they do now.
Fucking awesome game. I was like, I didn't even know that the final was yesterday until I saw the people talking about it.
Yeah.
You watched it, Kings? You play League.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah, I watched the finals. Mostly.
Who won?
DRX or something like that is the name of the team. It's like an underdog story. It was an underdog versus like the team that has the best player of all time on it.
And my boy Faker.
Faker lost. I was gonna say Faker died.
Oh my god,
Faker lost,
dude!
Yeah, the underdog won. But it was
character does Faker play as?
Well, you play a different character every time, but he plays mid lane. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, Faker lost in 5 games, but it was probably the best series ever. Like one of the top series. Like the games were just really good, back and forth. Good amount of fighting, not just like farming and then waiting until 40 minutes to win the game. So people liked it. It was a big thing.
Is Faker Korean or Japanese?
Korean.
And was the other team Korean that won?
Yeah, they were both from LCK. It was the LCK 4 seed versus I think the LCK technically 2 seed. LCK's Korea. Sorry. Korea 4 seed versus the Korea 2 seed, I think, or maybe 1 seed. I don't remember what
Yep. Still don't understand a single word of that, but okay.
I heard the word seed.
Yes.
It was the. I'm just gonna give you a rough estimate. It was the 16th best in the world versus the maybe first best in the world, and the 16th best.
That's
in the
pretty
world
cool.
Won.
That's pretty dope.
They were almost knocked out like 7 times trying to get to the finals, but like came back every time. So it was like an underdog story that was nice, you know.
That's super cool. That's why everybody was freaking out, I guess. Yeah,
correct. And it was Faker who was going for the like 4th win for his, you know, in his career.
I think Faker is the only League of Legends player that I've ever heard of.
He's the most famous. Yeah,
I have never heard of even him. So.
the unkillable Dragon. I have
King.
Now. He makes more money in a day than most of us make in a year.
Does he stream?
He does stream, but not. That's not how he makes his money. Like his contract is.
What does he do?
He doesn't stream on Twitch, does he?
No, they have different. Well, they do stream on Twitch as well, but
what does he do that makes so much money?
He plays the video game. Like their contracts.
When? Where? Like for
League of Legends. He plays for the team that they played in the finals.
Does he play every day?
Not but every day, like, but his contract,
player contracts kind of thing going on. Yeah,
like I don't know his full contract details. I don't know if they're a thing, but I think it's like 20 million or something like that. Plus, he owns part of the team now, or part of the org or something.
Where is this like broadcasted though? Like on esports streams,
on Twitch, on everywhere, on actual TV networks.
All right, I'm just unfamiliar with
CS:GO. Okay. You know how CS:GO players get paid to play in tournaments? Similar.
Yeah, but like how many tournaments are there?
Well, you get paid like you have a contract
a
like
lot
baseball
per tournament. Okay.
No, there's not that many tournaments. It's like a season. It's like a baseball player, except they're playing League of Legends. They get paid 50 mil, 100 mil.
That much?
Yeah, their whole career they make over 100 mil.
How do I become a professional League of Legends player?
Yeah, you can't. People have tried.
How do I could play mid, bot, lane.
No, you can't. No.
I can play upper tier.
And League of Legends Aqua's league career.
Darius, what's that guy's name? Darius?
League of Legends is the #1 income esport, I believe, right now. So like a lot of their contracts aren't ridiculous like that, but like he is the best in the world for the last 10 years, so he's made a lot of money.
Good for him. Good for Faker.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I was impressed with money. With how many people actually were into it yesterday on Twitter. I just was like, oh, I guess something big went on. But yeah, I had no idea what it was until somebody said Worlds, and I was like, I think that's League.
Yeah, it's Worlds Finals, yeah.
Did you guys see Wellen on the Age of Empires thing as a
host? Oh my God.
Isn't that great?
Let's talk about that.
He was so good. I thought he did such a great job. He and I can't remember her name. I don't know. They were great.
Was Wellen that other girl a streamer? I thought she was part of their team.
She's like,
she's the head of their community manager or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like a caster, I guess. She's more pro, but he did so well.
Dude, he did, and it was so goofy watching it, but he did so well. Dude, that entire show, I don't know what the fuck they were doing with that show. That was
it was so weird.
The cringe level was beyond fathomable.
I loved the 35-minute band performance. Wellen was like, we're going to go freshen up, get ready, and enjoy this band for a literally full concert.
I had it on the background, and I was like, oh, they're going to play a song. It's like, E3 when they had the flute guy or whatever. Mm-hmm. No, yeah, they played a full-on concert.
45 minutes. I was watching it on the TV with Sam, and she's like... She just couldn't believe it. She's like, when is Wellen gonna come back? What the fuck is going? Because she knows him obviously, and it was just so funny. I was like, I don't know, they should be done any minute now. The song ends, and I'm like, okay, they're gonna be like, all right, we're back, and they just kept playing another song. It was an endless encore. It was insane.
And it was all on this fully green screen stage. They were wearing real medieval outfits, but everything else was green screen / AR. And they'd have camel walk in between them and shit. and it was like well done, but still super fake and weird. So and it was just like, what the fuck is going on?
The sheeps would walk through and they'd be like, during the
but it wasn't like green screen to where they didn't know what was going on. You could tell that they could see themselves and they would like react to the other stuff. They'd like look at the sheep walking by and shit.
And then the little jokes, you know.
Yeah, they did a really good job. But I was also like, who the fuck are these guys and how did they talk them into this? Like, I mean, clearly they're getting paid, but like, you know, they're like, hey, we need, some orchestra guys, some trumpet dude and some other stuff. But then to be like, it's for a live stream, for a video game you've probably have heard of. And then like you're gonna have to wear these costumes. We're gonna have all these digital sheep walking around.
Just pretend you're interacting with.
I don't imagine that most of those band players are heavy AOE players. Probably.
Certainly not.
And I just imagine that was. I mean, it's a paid gig, but it was a very weird circumstance. I imagine I was like, that's got to be the weirdest shit for them.
That's why they did such a long performance, is because they had to get their money's worth. I pay you guys. You got to do 20 minutes.
Normally, I imagine
I wish it was 20 minutes.
in a big symphony hall.
Yeah. Chat was so funny, too. They were reading chat during that. They were like, one more song, please. Like, they're melting my face right now, this band. They're so fucking good.
It was so bizarre. And then they had so much like digital stuff. Like they had the digital battlefields of like, who's going to win in this siege? And it wasn't even like AoE footage. It was like just like other generated, like not even AoE4 footage. They're like, who's going to win in the siege, of the Americans on the coast or the British on the sea? And then they'd have like some like digital battle and stuff. It was
weird, but
such a weird thing. But it was so cool seeing Wellen in there, and he did an amazing job with it all.
He was such a good pick for that. Honestly, he has like the right look for it. You know, he's like got the right kind of personality, and like
he has so much enthusiasm. He's well spoken. Yeah.
He was a good choice. It was cool seeing him do it.
And I was super glad that they got Wellen in on that instead of like, one of the regular casters or some shit.
I think because they knew he'd be like so personable for, like he's just like particularly like I couldn't have done that shit. And plus I don't look professional enough. He looks like a nice professional young man, and not that they would consider me. I'm just using myself as an example. Like most gamers don't like have that kind of like presence to them.
Exactly.
He does. So it's good.
It's just cool because I mean he loves AoE. He plays a lot of it. He streams a lot of it, but he's not competitive as far as like their main competitive bracket or anything. So it's cool that they still snagged him for that. I was super happy to see.
Yeah, but that's why I think, and also it's Microsoft, and he's like tight with them through like Sea of Thieves and all that stuff, I'd imagine. So yeah. Good for him. It was funny seeing him on there. I enjoyed it a lot. I texted him in the middle of it, and I was like, this is so fucking good. You're doing a great job. And like during the band sequence, he texted me back. It was like a thumbs up or something. They're talking about how sick the band was. It's really funny. I would have loved to have seen like his perspective on it, just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I would like to see the set that they had, because that was some big stuff that they put on.
Yeah.
The main takeaway from that, I actually am not 100% sure. Are they adding in Age of Empire civilizations into the AoE 2 pool? Can I play ranked AoE playing the Romans?
I don't know.
I don't know. All I got from that was Age of Mythology.
Yeah, that was the big announcement for most people, I would say. I never played that much, but
I didn't.
I played Mythology more than 2, but I was more. I know
some people love Mythology.
It was great.
That was a big.
It has a big cult following. Yeah. That's like second to AoE 2, I think, as far as
I think
players.
So. Yeah. is a good one.
But yeah, I thought they had said something about because they've already done definitive edition of AoE 1. And then I thought they were saying something about like adding those civs into the AoE 2 pool. Which if they did that, dude, that's like another fucking goddamn 20 civs or some shit.
If they can balance
it. Play AoE 1. I realized when I was a kid, the one that I played all the time was AoE 1, not 2.
What?
I played the fuck out of AoE 1. I mean, then 2 came out and I played more of that one. But no, I was definitely in on 1. It blew my mind.
Yeah, I played 1 and 3. I never played 2 as a kid, I realized.
Really?
Yeah. I was playing 1 and 3.
Dude, that's actually hilarious.
I know.
No, I definitely played more of 2, but I played a lot of, yeah.
I liked 3. Like, I liked the time period and the setting, and I thought, like, the muskets were cool when I was a kid, you know? But, yeah, as far as gameplay...
They changed it, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different RTS.
Yeah.
Sadly.
People seem to like 4. I don't fully understand the game, I don't think, but 2 is just so perfect. Like, can't lose with
that.
They
did 4, and then I think they're already like, oh, we're gonna go back to just making 2
Let's keep
better.
releasing more content on 2. Yeah. I mean, they're still giving life to 4, but I think there's a much bigger player base on 2, I think.
I believe there is. Oh.
Absolutely.
Which is crazy to think about, but
it's just so good. It's perfect the way it is, you know? It's just timeless. You don't need to make another one. I don't know.
That sounds about right. Yeah, like 4 has 12,000 players, 2 has 22,000.
Yeah.
That seems about right.
Yeah, like
I know a couple of people that actually like to play 4 on a regular basis.
When I stream 2, so many people come in and ask, like, why don't you play 4? Why don't you like 4? Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And I don't really have an answer. I just
it's just a totally different RTS. It's not the same formula at all.
Game. Yeah. Whatever.
What did you guys do for Halloween? Oh, I have an idea on both of you what you did, but yes, tell us.
I dressed up as one of my favorite people in the world.
Oh,
I dressed
what would that have been?
I wore a hot dog suit and bought some glasses that look like this. And I dressed up as Glizzy Guy from the wonderful G4 show that
you both did.
Yeah. and Ashley did as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys look great.
Yeah. Dude, you would offhandedly mention that, but with how dry your humor is, Kings, I thought you were just bullshitting. I thought it was just some like Kings dry humor, because Kings have been like, yeah, I'm gonna be his Glizzy Guy this Halloween or whatever. I was like, okay, yeah. And then he literally sent me a picture of both him and his wife dressed as hot dogs. Yeah. And I was like, holy fucking shit.
You know what I felt like in a way? Just because of these glasses kind of look like it. The episode where Jim in the office was like, oh, I found these glasses randomly wherever, and I recreated his thing for $11. I felt like that because I bought the glasses, and I was, I looked at it and I saw the glasses, and I was like, I'm going as Glizzy Guy. And then I looked up, and I was like, I'm buying a hot dog suit. I don't give a shit. And there
you go. It's a good costume, honestly. You guys were great. We were Mario and Luigi. Me and my wife, we went as brothers.
That picture was amazing. That was so good.
It turned out good. I just looked like an asshole, but she looked cute as Mario. She hasn't actually taken the mustache off since, so
she kind of likes it.
I actually request that she leaves it on. No, yeah, it was fun. We went to a little Halloween party, and we handed out candy and drank bad cocktails that I made. I'm not very good at it.
What kind of cocktails?
I love martinis. Those are like my cocktail of choice. Gin and tonics are much easier to make, but I felt like a martini, and I made them at home, and I never do it. Like one time I made it great, and since then
you have the whole like shaker thing.
Yeah.
Very, very fancy.
Very fancy. I remember when we went out to dinner with Decky and Tanya, I ordered a martini at the place, and Decky was so like impressed with me. He was like, "You're so classy." Like it's like, what do you mean? It's just a drink.
Well, Aqua is surprisingly well functioning in public compared to most gamers, and that really shocked me. In addition to getting an actual relatively fancy drink instead of like a beer.
Yeah.
What? We didn't even talk to anybody. What do you mean? Oh, I guess we talked to
the wait. You were very, very sociable with the waitress and shit. I was just
I'm good at doing that. I can talk to people.
Exactly.
Usually.
I was impressed. I'm not. I want this, and that's it. That's how I.
You want chicken, no sauce. You guys were fine.
But no, I was very taken aback with I'm ordering a martini. I was like, wow.
Okay. I like them, all right. You know why? My dad used to do that, or still does that. I think I got it from him.
The old like, what was it, 60s, 70s the ad rev team, where they'd be like, I want a martini with my noon drink or whatever, my noon office
martini at noon. Mm-hmm. Holy shit!
Like back
put you on the floor.
I'm trying to think of like
Mad
Men, yeah, where it's like, it's noon. I'm gonna go get lunch with whoever and get a fucking three martinis or whatever, 3 drinks.
I think it was Louis C.K. or something who made a joke about that. Like those power lunch business guys, they do. I think they still do that. Like they're like drinking scotch all the time. Let's celebrate this deal. Come into my office, pour a couple glasses of. You'd be on the fucking floor the rest of the day. It's true.
Like Catboy talked about how he wants to someday get into like real estate or something, right? And he said, I'm going to learn how to golf just so that way I can do bigger meetings like on the golf course. And it's like, okay, good for you.
They say that's where deals are made on the course.
That's
what
true.
They say.
A lot of business is about who you like kind of know and bump elbows with. So sure, go ahead.
He has to join an exclusive country club in LA.
And Catboy literally dresses like a little golf boy in real life. And then he's this weird, deranged fucking freak online. Yeah. That's talk about an enigma.
Right? Like when we met him, I was like, "Oh, you're just like a little golf boy."
Yeah,
he's just like a little boy. But like online, when I first saw him with like the skull mask, like jumping up and down, smashing things, I was like, "Damn, I gotta stay on this guy's good side." But like we were like babysitting him. But yeah, he's a good kid.
He's a really nice kid. Yeah,
he is. It's pretty funny.
I've taken a break from drinking because I realized from like the start of September through halfway through October, I was like, I think there's been a total of like 3 days I've not had a very decent amount to drink. Mm-hmm. And I was like, maybe I'll take the end of October and the month of November off. And I have been very productive. Yeah. When you're not hungover all the time, there's a lot of things you can do. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
And I've not been wasting a huge amount of money as well, which has also been very nice.
Most people discover this in their like late 20s. This is why like we're all so surprised how much you party, because like we all realize this because you started late. So I learned years of doing this to like gather that's you understand. But yeah.
I learned that about 21 when it starts being legal to actually drink. I was like, I don't understand why I'm spending so much money and why I'm losing 4 hours of my day every single morning, or
every Saturday is just like a recovery day, like, and then you get drunk again, and then Sunday's a recovery day as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like your weekends, like when you like your work week, like totally wipes you out, exhausted. This. Like through my 20s, like with a normal job. And then like I'd go party every weekend and like feel like absolute shit and never actually like rest.
Never get rested.
Yeah. Like it's just, I mean, that's what everybody does. It's how you do it in your 20s, I guess. But
so it's been very not as exciting, but very nice. Yes.
You just feel good. You get excitement from taking the trash out.
Yeah.
I don't know about feeling good.
When you have a good trash bag, and you're just taking that out. Oh, that's nice. Let me tell you.
Cleaning off
you don't have to worry
counter.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it like dripping or anything. It's just a good bag, and then you have like a clean garbage bin afterwards.
Done.
Oof. Oof. Oh, when you have that folded and put right back into the bureau perfectly, that's nice.
That's the good stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'll take that over alcohol any day. But we did talk about Worlds. I forgot to mention that Mr. Beast, I guess, is going to purchase a League of Legends team. Very cool.
Wow.
And he's looking for an evaluation of $1.5 billion for his company. Which essentially means he
straight out the gate.
He believes that his company's worth $1.5 billion. He's trying to essentially
his current company?
His current company. He's selling his whole brand, $1.5 billion. Because what happens is he's trying to get $150 million and sell part of his company. You know what I mean? So
yes,
that's very interesting.
You think that's an accurate evaluation?
I don't know enough about the numbers and stuff to really do that, but I mean, I hate to tell you, but evaluations are all kind of made up by people that are too rich anyway. So who knows?
Yes, that is true. That's pretty crazy. Imagine like some YouTuber $1.5 billion evaluation.
Yeah. But I mean, he has a ton of stuff, right? So
yeah,
I don't think it's probably that. I don't know. They have whole fucking companies that are
built. $1 billion is insane. That's insane. Yeah. And that's an insane amount of money. Like crazy.
Yeah. But
good for him. He's good for Mr. Beast.
Yeah.
Speaking of money, Decky, did we do the ad read?
No, well, we might have to throw it in after. Yeah.
Or just do it right now.
Well, since you're speaking of it, did I mention this holiday season I'll be giving thanks to our friends over at Manscaped. Everyone loves turkey and stuffing, but you'll be looking like dessert with the help of Manscaped's Performance Package 4.0. The leader in below-the-waist grooming have blessed us with the ultimate Thanksgiving dinner topic. Tell your in-laws about your new cutting-edge ball trimmer, or gift yourself or the man in your life the ultimate men's hygiene.
Thanks, Manscaped.
Thanks.
I just want to say a couple things because it's November. Have you guys been watching Twitch, and how many ads have you been watching?
Oh,
because this is the big month for most streamers, including you guys, right?
I mainly watch streams that I'm subbed to. Honestly, and that wasn't the best move. Probably.
That's very kind to your community. I'm impressed.
Yeah. He took it.
Why.
You took it, but you didn't take 6 minutes. Yeah,
I took the low amount of minutes, the one to get rid of the ad roll or the pre-roll, basically.
Yeah, smart.
Generally, that's what I suggest for most people. Is if there's a 3-minute one, you might as well take it.
Could have broke it up, like 30 minutes, 3 minutes every 30 minutes.
But depending on what game you're playing, you have to be the one to kind of know that. What I'm upset with Twitch about is that they can't just do what like Hassan and all these other people that have special contracts do, which is they tell you have to run so many ads, but you can choose when to put them. And that's only for very certain contracts. So what Hassan does, and what I think Pestily does as well, and other people like that, is they'll just be like, look, I'm going to click ad now for 3 minutes or whatever. It's going to be 3 minutes straight, and he'll get up and leave. But with the ad incentive program, it automatically runs if you forget it.
Yeah, it might not be good timing all the time.
It's not always good timing. Whereas like Hassan's is the top of the hour or something like that. That's when he does it. So you even know like, oh, it's 12:01 or it's been an hour or whatever it is.
It's like television when you can be like, we'll be back after these short messages.
Yeah.
I mean, you can do the same. You just have to remember, though.
Yeah,
it works that way. But,
what's going to happen
I also
with Decky,
didn't want to do that many ads.
What's going to happen with Decky is next month, 7 or 8 minutes might be his minimum because he took a 6 minute this month.
I hope so.
Yeah, if you're willing to take an 8-minute one, okay.
He loves it.
Believe me, son, give me everything you can. That was my thing. I was like, if I take the max one this month, and hoping that they still have huge deals for December, and I think they would. I was like, even more minutes.
Yeah, I took the 3 minutes because I wanted like less time, because if they see that I didn't want the high amount of minutes, that they'd like give me maybe a better
You know, like you handed off the subathon to me or the Muratathon to me, and that was on the 3rd, and I've been dreading the 3rd because, you know, there's a lot of sub gifting and stuff going on during that. I've been dreading the 3rd, and
it happened.
The drop off wasn't bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
My sub numbers are so inflated with just absolute bullshit. I don't know what's going on in my community right now. They just they need a.
You're lucky.
They don't know we're going into a recession. I don't think they just love throwing subs out.
They saw the end of Q3 numbers that were actually higher than they thought. It's higher than projected, and they're like,
I think they just like to be domed.
Yeah.
I haven't brought Dom Daddy out once this month. They want it. They're begging for it. No, it's all boys' night now. It's all they want is boys' night.
Boys' night is a big
coming into my stream asking if it's boys' night. I'm like, that's Decky's thing.
I haven't been giving it to him because I haven't been drinking. So I was like, nope. And it's just made him want it more.
Boys' night.
All-inclusive term for boys, by the way.
Yes, everyone? All-inclusive. But but like, there's been nobody that's had to watch an ad in a very long time. It's been and I don't expect that to keep going. Definitely, that's not going to be a sustainable thing.
Sadly, that's going to drop your December's income down. By the way, but that's okay for adding some.
Yeah. I am. That is definitely not sustainable. But yeah, even after like the drop off on the 3rd of, you know, when all the gifted subs from the subathon dropped, I was still like, why is this number still so incredibly high? But yeah, I plan on definitely trying to do some real abuse to the ads come in December. If I got a 10-minute ad, we're seeing it. Because I think that's the max they do is 10 minutes, is it not?
Yeah.
And then I don't think Twitch goes above that.
If you do 10 minutes of ads, it also bugs out the next month, and they don't offer you anything because you can't go higher than 10 minutes.
It's January, and that's fine with me.
Yeah, who gives a fuck about January? Exactly. That's what I talk to people about. I was like, January, you're going to get shit offers. So if you're going to reset your fucking AIP, fucking reset it in January. You know, don't take one in January.
Damn, I should have taken the big offer.
No, you shouldn't have.
This month and next month.
You shouldn't have.
In January, just...
You shouldn't
have. There's no way in hell Aqua would do 10 minutes to his people. I can't see it.
Nah, I wouldn't.
You sack all the new viewers that you get, and like
I know.
Becky's happy with his viewership, so he doesn't give a fuck about sacking it so much. And it gets
listen, I'm number 1 in Marauders. I get all the new guys anyway.
And then they see an ad and they leave. It's bad for Marauders. Doing that is bad for the game.
Anytime anybody new comes in, they're like, let me check out the Marauders. It's just 3 minutes of fucking ads.
That's not true. Because you took the ad incentive program. Fucking pre-rolls.
What do you think of Call of Duty, Aqua?
It's fun. I like it. I've been playing it a lot, even off stream. It's just fun. I like it.
I'm excited for
stupid.
DMZ.
It's silly. Me too.
I think even like Warzone. Are they doing a proper new map for Warzone? They are, aren't they?
Yes, Warzone 2. Yeah, it's gonna be a new map and everything. I believe they've already done testing of the map, so I'm pretty sure that it's out or like, you know.
Yeah, I'll check that out.
They did a weekend or something.
Pretty good. Is there gonna be a Gulag too?
I think there's a Gulag, and I'm not sure though.
Oh, they again, I haven't looked into Gulag. So good.
Yeah,
I want to get thrown into the slammer. I want to go to the Gulag.
DMZ will be interesting, and DMZ mode is going to be free as well as the Warzone 2, from what I understand. So like, it'll just. I mean,
what do you get if you bought the game for DMZ and Warzone? Like they got to give you some major incentives.
Cosmetics and shit is mostly.
I felt like they had to give you something besides just cosmetics. I don't know what, but
what I'm thinking is they're gonna really slap cosmetics into. I'm hoping it's just cosmetics into the DMZ thing, right?
And I don't know.
Or is DMZ just an absolute side thing for them? I don't know.
The campaign was great. I really liked the campaign.
I was impressed with that. I used to really enjoy Call of Duty campaigns. I stopped at like Black Ops 1.
I played it in one stream. It took like 7.5 hours. Loved it.
That's generally like a COD campaign too. That's
enough. That's enough.
4 to 6 hours is really.
If it was longer than that, it would have started to piss me off. You know, Like it was a fun like sit down like long movie experience where you get to interact with the movie. It's great. Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was really good.
It seems COD. Like people had a better reputation over this COD than the ones of the past 4 years.
I think the 2019 one and this one are the same devs, and they do a good job. When these guys do it, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
But that like Vanguard shit, all that other garbage, I'm good.
But yeah.
But this studio, I'll check it out, and I've liked what I've seen both times.
It's Call of Duty though, right? So like, people are leaving. But I mean, but I mean, like once people play it for a week, a lot of people just leave. I don't think.
Yeah, of course. But, I mean, it's like a 30-hour experience.
No,
a lot of people, everybody comes in like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Because it's like $70
it's
or
a
whatever.
Lot of money,
it's AAA. Yeah. It is. And I say like, well, the campaign's fantastic. That was 7.5 hours. And then I'll probably play like 30 hours of multiplayer all in. And, that's like $2 an hour.
Right.
For me. And watch the stream and decide for yourself, because I'm not going to answer that. Like, what do they think? Like,
yeah,
I don't know what $70 is to you. I don't know what type of games you like. Yeah, it's like such a frustrating question. I wish I could answer it, but I can't.
So many people
I'm
are
at
like,
20 hours
I need
in the game.
$1 an hour. I'm like, I was saying the $1 an hour thing like 20 years ago. I think we can also move on from that. I understand, it's a good basis, but like, I don't look at games on hours. Like, I could have the most fun in the world with a game for 10 hours and it'd be worth $60 to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Depending how fun it is. It's not just based on hours. There's different levels.
Yeah, of course. But I don't know.
Speaking of games, on a last note before this all goes together, probably my nose, I have a couple of notable things for my streaming career. One of the ones that I wish I could eliminate from my life the most is not actually SOS. I wish that was eliminated, but just because people always come in talking about it, and I hate it.
I love SOS though. Yes,
but there was another game before SOS, before PUBG, after Naval Action. I used to be an ARC streamer.
Oh yes.
I played about 700 hours of regular ARC SE, and this was before all the expansions. This was before any expansions. And I played a decent amount. I streamed it, and I definitely wasn't big in the ARC community, and that was back before a lot of ARC streamers. Like, ARC blew up since then, and it was decent at the time. But then I started playing the ARC Battle Royale standalone game that they had called SOTF, Survival of the Fittest. And a lot of people didn't know this existed. It literally was just Battle Royale before PUBG, before any of that like huge Battle Royale genre blew up, even before like a lot of H1Z1 stuff. They had their own Battle Royale standalone game, and it's free on Steam. It's called Survival of the Fittest. And it was like a 30-minute lobby of where you go in, you tame some dinosaurs at expedited rates, you craft some weapons at expedited rates, and you battle it out against like 20 other dudes. Very unique, very overly complex, and they put like tons of money into that game, the ARC devs wildcard. They would have like a tournament every month, and they'd give out like $15,000 or some ridiculous shit. Yeah. And the community was a total of like 400 people that played the game. Nobody played it. It was just unknown, and they were just like throwing tons of money at this. It was a very weird scenario.
And eventually during the Battle Royale like freak time where everyone
it was a little bit before.
It was before. That was the weirdest thing.
It was like before H1Z1 got popular, right? Like whenever that was called before that. Yeah, it was before even that got popular.
And then they pushed it a lot. They put all those money into tournaments, hoping to get a bigger crowd. It never happened. They eventually stopped the tournaments, and then they eventually just stopped development on the game. And that game somehow had the most hardcore like community in the world. Those guys were just like, we're gonna make SOTF again. We're gonna make it back in mods. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it. And they just never let it go. Just like, fuck, it's dead. Just shut the fuck up and let it go. And for years, people would still come in my chat and be like, are you going to play SOTF? I'm like, dude, what? The game's been dead for like 5 years. What do you mean am I going to play SOTF? They're like, well, there's somebody still working on a mod. I'm like, yeah, they've been working on that mod for like 5 years, and a total of 20 people are going to play it. Like, what the fuck do you want from me, dude? Until yesterday.
Yeah, I saw
the main leader of Wildcard announced a cross-platform SOTF coming back.
Decky, strap in.
Tiny Tim is going to absolutely destroy
my worst nightmare.
Holy shit.
Actually has returned.
Yeah.
Apparently, they're bringing SOTF back, cross-platform, launching in December. And that's going on.
Subathon, baby.
I've yelled and I've been so mean to that entire community ever since it died, saying that it's never coming back, and apparently I'm wrong. It literally died in like 2016. It's been like 6 years.
Yeah. You did get your graphics card, correct?
Some reason, Wildcard even gave me like 32 gigs of RAM. They gave me a 1080 when a 1080 was brand new.
Yeah.
Just because I played the game all the time. I wasn't good, but I still to this day hold the number one count or number one record in solo kills in that game.
Yeah.
I've killed more in solo matches. I've killed more players than anybody else in the entire world.
And for anyone that wants to know how he did this, he played a fuck ton, and also his goal was to just kill people. Not to win the game, just fucking murder people.
Like I would just kill people off the bat on the start. Yeah. I would never go craft or tame dinosaurs. I'd just kill all the naked guys.
Yeah.
I could make a bow really fast, and then I'd just kill naked dudes.
That sounds fun.
Essentially, like, for those that don't know the game, you're supposed to, like, kind of like how in PUBG you go pick up weapons. He would just run around punching people until they got.
I just land on the ground and go punch people is basically my strat. I got number one kills.
Decky was the guy to hop in Rust on a fresh wipe, craft a bow, and hang out killing naked.
Exactly.
He was that fucking asshole.
Wildcard has not contacted me about playing their game again. But
we could set it up.
Yeah, I'm not. We'll see where that goes.
I want to see this freak gamer that you used to be. He's gonna come back whether you like it or not.
That was like the height of my degenerate like bunker days too. That's when I was falling asleep on stream. You're full on degeneracy. So it'll be.
I don't know if Tanya's ready for this, to be honest.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna have to go.
She didn't see those days. We did.
Luckily, that was over already. But yeah, that's it. This was a very long episode, making up for a little bit of last week. Hour 20 minutes.
Really quick. Sorry to interrupt you, but like me and Kings used to hang out, right? And like we'd be in a voice call playing a game or something like that. And just out of nowhere, he'd be like, Decky's crazy. Mr. Decky's crazy. I was like, and I'd be like, who's that? Like, who are you talking about? He's like, he's this streamer. He lives in a bunker in Mexico.
Honestly,
like, he's a freak. I was like, I like the sound of that. That's how I discovered Decky.
It was Decky being crazy was the start of us all knowing him and stuff. Was just like, this guy's like insane. Like he's streaming 30 hours, falling asleep on stream, waking up and like not missing a beat.
Chicken on the floor,
like the best part of some of the
no windows
is he'll be asleep and he'll just be playing games that you like, you know, an online multiplayer game, and he'll just be like half asleep, and then he'll wake up and he'll fucking yell at some kid and kill him. Like I don't know.
It happened in Marauders. There's a clip of it on my channel during the subathon. He was like standing on. He like breached someone, like fell asleep while waiting for the guy to like react, and then like. He started running down the stairs. He like went, and killed him.
Yeah. I don't know how you do that. I'd be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to bed.
That used to be my entire stream, yeah.
Right, sorry.
So anyways, we're getting ready for that. We're getting ready for it to come back. Watch the SOTF stuff later.
All right, well, last week. Bye.
Yeah, see you guys. See you next week. Bye.
What's up, gamers? Thank you so much for watching this week's episode. We put a lot of work into these. If you liked it, consider becoming a member just by clicking the join button down below this video. Becoming a member will get you access to exclusive members-only benefits like a monthly live stream, as well as an extra hour-long episode every week on top of the main episode. Thank you again for watching. Appreciate you. And as always, we will see you next week.